And this one is about albedo values. Let's say you have a material loaded. In this case, it's from Quixel Megascan. So normally these materials are very well scanned. At the background, I have an HDRI. And let's say you have this material, you think, oh, that material looks a bit black. Or maybe you want to look in the material preview and you check some settings over here, like that. And no matter what you do, you don't get an impression of how this material looks like. You try a lot of things, but what you miss maybe is reference. So in this case, maybe you think, oh yeah, that material is a bit dark. So and you bump up the value. But then, let's say a friend is going to load that material, and then he sees that material, he says, oh yeah, that's very bright. But I mean, sometimes it's hard to find out what material, how bright it is. There's a way to it. So I will start a new scene like that. And then I load a scene that's called mid-gray. You can do that yourself at home. You don't need that add-on for it. But what you see is I have here material, if you look at it, and you go to the base color, you see the RGB is 0.18 as an important number. And that is called mid-gray albedo values. If you render this out, we calibrated with false color. If you render that out, then on your monitor you will see a mid-gray value. Let's try that out. So I'm going to the color management. You can also find that here, color managed. I have that here in one add-on. Oh, by the way, this is called EEVEE Production Suite. So then I go to color management. Then you go to false color. And then you see something like this. So let's give this cube the value 0.18, that's right, that's correct. And now let's turn this a bit into a sphere so we can see a bit more like that. Then you should see something like a gray edge like this. You can play around with the little things like your material or the exposure. In this case, we have the material already defined. Oh, sorry, I need to go on here. We have the material already defined. In this case, we play with the exposure. It could be something like this. I can check a little bit further. We see here this gray edge. Let's see what happens. We could do something like this. I think this will be fine. So you try to get as much as gray as possible. Now you go back to Filmic. Then press that one, and if you render this out, render image. Then if we go to the compositing, we click on render result. Now if you right click with the mouse, you see values like that. It should be that edge was somewhere over here. So here we should see values around that. Indeed, if you look here in the status bar, if I click on there, you will see 0.19, 0.18, 0.17, etc. And I believe so. This should then be mid-gray. We can maybe check it. So if we have a color here, we 0.18. Oh, sorry. Let's copy that a few times. Oh, actually, there's an easier way. So we should see then that color. Can we make it bigger or so? Oh yeah. And that pretty much match. So if you print that out, then that is mid-gray. So maybe that gives you a point of reference so that you know how bright your color, your material is. So if we now load bricks, I hope I can find it. Materials, Quixel, bricks, and I believe it was, I think it was this one. And that's that. All right, so I think that's that. And then the next video, let me see what it is. Next video, I want to show you something about compositing. All right,